The MCU has always been very creative with its concepts. From multiverse to quantum realms, everything's been absolutely epic. It's given us so many worlds to dwell in. But in today's video, we'll be discussing how the new Ant-Man movie might neglect the most fun part of it. Along with that, a tragic Avengers 5th theory suggests that Ant-Man may die. So stay tuned and keep watching till the very end to learn about it all. First up, Quantumania's new trailer has revealed something new. Even though a lot of people are kind of annoyed with Marvel Cinematic Universe releasing so much content altogether, the recent trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, has brought a lot of attention. MCU fans are eager to step into the world of Scott Lang once again, and by the looks of the trailer, we might be getting to see the quantum realm more this time. Although it's an interesting concept because we haven't seen a lot of the quantum world in the previous movies. From everything that we've seen, the quantum realm doesn't seem like a place anyone would like to stay in. So the problem that we have right now is that the abilities and powers of Ant-Man that make him Ant-Man, we won't really get to see them a lot. Scott's growing and shrinking abilities were what made the movie interesting, and since the movie will be based in the quantum realm, as the name itself suggests, there's really nothing else left. Next up, the appeal of any superhero is their set of superpowers. You know we all want to be a superhero, and part of the reason for wanting to be one is the superpowers. Cause come on, how can there be any other reason? Have you ever heard anyone saying they want to be Batman? Okay, maybe some say it's because they want to be rich, and Alfred's a nice wingman. But has anyone ever wanted his, powers? No, because there aren't any. Anyway, enough shade on Batman. The point is, superheroes aren't superheroes without their powers, and we're afraid that the latest Ant-Man and the Wasp might end up being one-dimensional because there aren't any superpowers in use. For our tiny superhero, these supernatural abilities are growing and more often shrinking using the Pym particles. The reason that the Ant-Man saga was so different from other Marvel movies was its comedic tone, that the studio pulled off effortlessly with the help of the shrinking growing powers. If you're confused, we're talking about that one scene where they shrink the van and then unshrink it again, also the iconic kitchen scene. All of this is why setting the movie in Quantumania might halt its growth, pun intended, once it's released. Moving on, the quantum realm can get visually boring. Now we know it's too soon to be guessing and making all these assumptions right now, but come on guys, we can't help it. One of the most amazing and engaging scenes in the previous movies has been because of the shrinking growing abilities. Stripping us of that just doesn't sound fun. Now they may have other plans for the quantum realm, and Ant-Man and Wasp might even shrink to an even smaller size, but we don't have any concrete evidence to believe that. And if the characters are shrinking further, it still won't be as visually appealing. Also, we won't be able to witness any ant rides and shrinking to fight baddies. It's also really disappointing for Cassie Lang. We've waited so long to see Cassie use her powers on the big screen. If you're one of those fans who've eagerly awaited to see her character development, then we're sorry. So if we can't see her use them in the actual way that they were meant to be used, then what's the point? Again, it might be too soon to assume something when the only evidence we have is the trailer, but that's the thing. The only evidence we have is the trailer, and it suggests everything that we're assuming. Anyway, hopefully they won't take the it factor of the movie away from it. Only time will tell though. Coming up, MCU might kill another one of our favorite characters. We can't believe anyone who says that they weren't mad and awfully heartbroken when MCU killed Iron Man and Black Widow. We were furious and also sobbing, but that's not the point. What we're really concerned about is that according to Avengers 5 theory, Ant-Man might be the next superhero to have a funeral. Even though Ant-Man has only been part of one Avengers movie, we know he'll have a lot to do with the upcoming sequel. Since Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne will be fighting Kang in the quantum realm, we're guessing the duo will have an important role in Avengers Kang Dynasty. Up next, what's the theory? As mentioned before, Lang and Hope will go against Kang in Quantumania, so there are chances that these two are the only ones who have an idea about what the supervillain beholds. Following the trend of the previous MCU movies, we're guessing that Scott will be the new Tony Stark, meaning Lang will be the one making an ultimate sacrifice and dying while trying to stop Kang. Following up, the Iron Man role might fit Ant-Man like a glove. As the trailer shows, Ant-Man becomes somewhat of a celebrity after the Endgame. From books to podcasts, he's as famous as one can get. We also see in the trailer that this fame is getting to him. We even witnessed similar instances in Iron Man, and Stark proved it wasn't as good as it looks. Being Iron Man 24/7 after exposing himself to the world was one of the biggest challenges that Tony had to face. He had to manage a lot of roles while being one person. He had to be a world-saving thriving superhero, a celebrity, and lead the Avengers. It changed Tony's life forever, which resulted in him changing his priorities. So we're guessing that Scott's down the same path, someone who's achieved it all and has one major fight ahead of him that'll change everything forever. Not to mention, Tony and Scott have uncanny arcs. If Scott Lang's multiverse saga is following the same arc as Tony's Infinity Saga, then we know where this is headed. Kang's dynamic with Scott might end up being similar to that of Tony and Thanos. Although Iron Man had no idea who Thanos was, he did know that Loki was just the beginning of it all. You might be wondering while we're reminiscing about Iron Man, well, that's because a moment in the trailer looked exactly similar to the one in the Infinity Saga. If you're always looking for Easter eggs, you might already know. But if you aren't, don't worry, we got you. The conversation between Kang and Scott is almost identical to the one Tony had with Thanos in the Infinity Saga. There's a twist though. Kang knows who all the Avengers are, so he knows who Ant-Man is. And according to him, Ant-Man's not as important as the others. Jeez, Kang, that was rude. Anyway, Kang knows his enemy very well and doesn't care about Scott Lang much. Remember, we said there's a twist. This was it. While Thanos respecting Iron Man and he was an important enemy to him, the case is entirely opposite here. Now, because everything's almost mirrored as it is, it won't be too far-fetched if we assume that Ant-Man will sacrifice himself just like Tony. Let's just hope he doesn't, cause dude, imagine telling Tom Holland that he's attending another wedding. Poor kid. Moving on, this might be the last Ant-Man movie. There aren't many MCU characters in Phase 1 or 2 who received their own standalone movies before the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Thor just had his 4th movie released, but Thor: Love and Thunder set up Thor 5, so it doesn't seem like his tale's ready to end. On the other hand, Captain America: New World Order may be the start of a new movie series starring Sam Wilson as Captain America. But sadly, Scott Lang's journey may be nearing its conclusion since Ant-Man will wrap up his MCU trilogy before the Kang Dynasty. The sole motive Scott Lang had for agreeing to become Ant-Man in the first place was so he could make amends with Cassie and his family, as Scott always wanted the best for Cassie, and that was literally why he agreed to a deal during the Captain America Civil War. He even temporarily stood aside from becoming Ant-Man, so this might be the last movie, but Cassie may just start her own journey. She might be the focus of her own stories following the time jump in Avengers Endgame, perhaps as a Stature or a Young Avengers member without Scott Lang being involved. Finally, another hint that Ant-Man might die. The fact that Cassie Lang will dress up in Quantumania, as shown in the trailer, is another hint that Ant-Man will die in Avengers 5. In the comics, Cassie doesn't actually become the superhero until Scott dies after the Avengers mansion is attacked, so it all really boils down to Cassie and her decision. Whether she wants to carry on the sometimes small, sometimes big, heroic role in the Marvel Universe after Hank Pym and Scott Lang or not, only time will tell. While everything is pointing in the same direction, we're hoping that we don't have to witness any of our favorites dying anymore. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Quantumania will still be as interesting as the prequels? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.